Hi, it's Melanie Benson-Strick, CEO of Success Connections and one of the Stompernet faculty members. I get asked a question a lot when I'm helping people design their teams or learn how to outsource and delegate better to free up their time. And you probably aren't even going to guess what this question is. It's how do I make sure that the people I'm hiring are going to be the right people and I'm going to get things done on time. I mean, I have had that experience too, and I'm sure you have, or you've heard of other people not being able to get things done when you want them to. I mean, if we have kids or spouses, I mean, we've all experienced that, right? It's like you delegate to someone else, you ask them to do something, and it doesn't get done right or it doesn't get done on time. Well, there are two strategies that I teach people in my virtual team building system that will effectively eliminate these challenges. So I'm going to share them with you because I think as you go out and you outsource and you delegate and you figure out how to free up your time to do more of your money-making activities, doing the right or hiring the right people the first time is really one of the keys to making sure that it's profitable, that you're getting done what you want, and you're getting things done right. And I know that that's the fear that people have. So, you ready? Let's do this. The first thing I teach people is something that I call the on-time results model. And as a matter of fact, I put a little diagram together to help you understand this. This is all mapped out in the system, but I want to teach it to you right now because I think it's really going to help. And I based this on an old tool that I learned when I worked for Motorola when I was doing project management. And when I was doing project management, I always found that if somebody wanted something different or if something wasn't turning out the way I wanted, it was usually one of three core reasons. And now I'm running million-dollar teams back then, and being able to get something done on time was critical. We had no room for failure. We had no room for error. So we can adopt this same idea and make it work for you at whatever level of business you have today, even for your personal stuff. So let's look at the model. The first thing to get nailed down in this model is what's the scope, or another way to call it is what's the detail that you want done. Now here's why this is important. Most people do what I call the delegate and dump method. And what that means is you call somebody up and you say, hey, can you get this done? Can you update the web page? Can you get those SEO things up and running? Can you fix my backlinks? Can you go figure out why we're not getting enrollments? Or maybe it's like you're going to do a product launch and you say, hey, we need to do a product launch. Can you get that done for me? Now that's a little vague and I think we wouldn't leave it there. But that's how most people operate. And even simple things like if you have an assistant who does your calendar or books your travel, a lot of times someone will pick up the phone and say, hey, I got to go to Oregon next week. Can you book my ticket? And that's all the information they get. That's called delegate and dump. And what ends up happening is you don't get what you want. So the first step is to make sure you've given them all of the detail, all of the information that they need in order to get it done. So it could be, I need it on this look, if you're doing a web page update, it could be, here's the URL, here's the 3 things that need to be addressed, here's exactly what it is that I want you to say here, here's where we have a problem on the page, whatever the detail is. Give enough detail that they can go off and run with it. Now, I'll give you a caveat, and I'm going to talk about this in key number 2 here in just a second. This will be determined by the level of expertise you've hired or outsourced to. Okay, that's a key piece, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Let's get the second element, time. When does it need to be done by? Have you ever had a request from somebody and they've said, I need this done, but they don't tell you when, and in their mind, they're thinking, I want it tomorrow, and in your mind, you're thinking, I'll get to it next week? Well, that's what happens most of the time when we work with a contractor or an employee, and we say, I need this done, but we don't give that very important element of time. Time, when you need it done, or even how long you expect it to take them. This can be really important when working with contractors or virtual assistants. You've got to really help set the framework and the expectation of what you expect in terms of their time commitment to getting it done. Now the third element here to getting on-time results is to make sure that cost, and we can even put a /resources here, that we really help them understand what the cost or the resources that they could tap into to keep your costs down will be available to them. I'll give you a great example. In the beginning, when I first started training virtual assistants to work with me and I had contractors that were helping me, I had stuff all over the place. I didn't know any better. I didn't know that when somebody else is working virtually for me, they'll get lost trying to find data or information. So I had to put a whole system together of where they might access different information they needed, like my logins for my servers, or passwords for certain project management accounts, or tools or technology that they might use, or even contacts within the team. Who else is doing what, and how will they impact their project? This can cut down your costs immensely. Or is there a budget that you expect them to work within to complete the project? All of this will go a long way to help you getting what you want done the right way the first time on time.